Hi everyone. I'm just going to invite Megan and just wait for her to hop on to join before we start today's live. Hi everyone, thanks for joining. For those just coming on, we're just waiting for Megan to tune in. Hello Megan,
Hiya.
how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, good thanks. Looking forward to today's live.
Yeah. Just realised I put
Um,
festive earrings on and you can't really see them because I've got
oh
headphones in.
no. Great. So today we are doing a live on festive things at Kent, things to do, ideas, what our ideas are, what we've done in the past, and hopefully get you guys in the mood ahead of Christmas. My name's Rowena. I am a PhD student here at Kent. And Megan, if you'd like to introduce yourself.
I'm Megan. I'm also a PhD student at Kent.
Cool. So welcome to share your own ideas on or any questions as well. If you've got anything, just drop them in the box below. I'm gonna try and pin. Nope, it won't let me pin it. But if you do have any questions, just comment below and we'll pick them up at the end or as we go along. So today we are sharing festive things to do at Kent. My favourite one, I think, is probably just really simple. Taking a walk through town. There's quite a lot of Christmas lights up at the moment, particularly like the ones at Westgate Towers and all along Burgate and the High Street. There's these really nice lights that go from one side of the shop to the other. Nothing like really special, but it's just quite nice. Change of scenery and it's quite nice and peaceful to look at. And there's also the Christmas market that some of you in Canterbury might have seen is being set up. I think that's going to be open, I think, in the next couple of days.
Yeah, definitely by the weekend.
Hmm. So that'll be also very festive, and that's only there for the next couple of weeks. So it's definitely unique to this month.
Yeah.
Megan, what are your tips, ideas, thoughts? Have you got anything that you're planning to do or have done to get festive?
Yeah. So one of the main things I like about this kind of time of year is decorating. I
Mm.
don't know if you can see it quite from this angle, but I have my festive blanket on my bed. I have my festive bed sheets on our sofa downstairs because we haven't really got sofa covers and I wanted our downstairs to look a bit more festive. And I ordered some paper chains online the other day. So one of the things me and my housemate are going to do either tonight or tomorrow night is have at it. They're relatively cheap to order. We just got them off eBay. I think what we're going to do is staple them and then at the end take the staples out so we can actually recycle the paper. And
Mm.
yeah, just making our space a bit more festive will be really nice. We don't have a Christmas tree currently, so I've put tinsel around a fan in our front room as the kind of alternative tree. Um, but yeah, just making my space a bit more festive is something I've been really looking forward to doing. I've
Mm.
also been crafting. I just had some printer paper, so I've been making angels to go around. I'm thinking of printing some. I haven't told my housemate this yet, so she might find out this way. I'm going to print some famous faces and put them on the top of the angels and decorate our front room like that. I might get a message in a minute saying, please don't do that to our lounge. But yeah, that's one of the things I'm going to do today and tomorrow,
Awesome.
just to make the space a bit more festive.
Mm. I like how you're making things as well. It's quite crafty, and I guess with
Yeah.
being stressed now, we can't really go out and do the things that we would like to do.
Yeah, you can tell I've also got a PhD deadline coming up because I've become a lot more crafty and a lot more festive. Um, but it's something it's nice and cheap to do. All I needed was a few pieces of
Mm.
printer paper, and I can customize them however I like. Which, again,
Mm.
it's good that it's getting into the kind of de-stressing area. I'm going to colour them all in. I'm going to make them look nice, and at the end of it, it'll make the house look a lot better. So I'm really
Mm.
pleased with it.
Sounds good. There's the other thing as well. I don't know if you've heard Expression Arts in town, working with the Wellbeing team on campus. I think you can actually get a Wellbeing craft set free of charge if you're a University of Kent student, and I think
Oh, okay.
you choose what I guess shape of decoration you'd like to paint, and it comes with a paint, and then you can decorate it and hang it up on your tree or your fan.
Oh,
Um,
that's really good.
So it's really nice and gets your mind off staying indoors and gives you an activity to do as well with your housemates, or on your own if you're not living together.
Oh, that sounds really good. I think they're available on the Wellbeing website, aren't they?
Yeah.
On the Kent website, yeah.
So if you're interested, look them up. I think there are limited how many are available, so definitely take a look if you want to grab one.
Oh, yeah.
With I guess other crafty things, decorating, I guess kitchen areas, communal areas, your room, lounge. Make sure you ask your housemates that they're happy as well, just to make sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure they will be, but it's always good just to check.
Yeah. And even like you can make things like snowflakes with paper.
Hmm.
Um, and it's also nice to do things if you're in the shared flats on campus. It's nice to do things
Hmm.
as a bubble. So get together for a night, put a Christmas film on someone's laptop,
Hmm.
have some background festive music or something, make an event of it. Sounds like a good idea to me.
Likewise. I guess other things you can do if you're not living with people is you could do a Zoom Secret Santa. One of the ideas that a student suggested. So Secret Santa as usual, assigned, and you send your gift by Amazon, and you open it on your Zoom meeting. So I guess the main challenge is to wait until said Zoom meeting before you open the gift,
Yeah.
and enjoy that element of opening presents together virtually, if you can't be together.
Yeah, I still do that. I did my undergrad here from 2008 till 2012. I still do that with my friends from back then. There's four of us, and every year we still do a Secret Santa. The person whose Secret Santa I've got is in the background of the screen, so I'm really hoping that they can't see it. But it's good because we often do it through kind of like small sellers and things like that. And then, like you say, do a big Zoom meeting, or normally we do it through Skype because that was
Mm.
back in the days before we knew what Zoom really was. um, and it's nice because it means you don't have to spend a lot of money on lots of different presents, lots of different people, and you get to pick one person who can do something really specialised. Um, and yeah, it's good to see what people think your taste is, and it's really good when you get someone that perfect present. In
Mm.
previous years, one of my friends really loves Moomins, and I'd happened to go into there's a specific Moomin shop in Covent Garden, and I spent way too much money. I went way over like we had like normally a £10 plus postage budget. I went way over budget, but she was really happy with it, so I didn't mind. Um, and yeah, sometimes it's nice when you know you've got something that's actually meaningful,
Mm.
that you know they'll like. The idea that sort of giving a present is just as good as receiving a present. I know when I was younger I didn't believe that, but now I actually appreciate giving gifts just as much, if
Mm.
not more.
Mm. Really quick to go back on the Wellbeing art kits. They are going to be on the student guide, so more
Okay,
details will be coming. So keep an eye out if you are interested.
that's good.
And I guess other festive things on campus, tree-wise, there is the large tree on the lawn opposite the registry between the Gulbenkian and the registry. That is the lights for that are now on, but they're only obviously come on when it starts to get dark. So if you do want to take a walk around campus, hopefully when the weather's a bit better, you can organise your route with your bubble round there. If you're on the Medway campus, there is a tree outside the Rochester building, and that will have lights on soon in the next few days. So I think they should be up already. So yeah, a tree for everyone.
That's really good. One of my weirdest memories in the last couple of years was working in the library and looking out that window and seeing them put the lights on.
Mm.
I was working, I wasn't concentrating at all until I saw someone's face kind of level with mine, which you don't expect on like the second or third floor of the library.
Mm.
Um, but that's how in my head I always know it's nearly Christmas when you start seeing the lights on campus and the lights in town.
Mm.
You can't beat that for me.
Must be a challenge putting
One,
those lights up. It's a big tree.
yeah, I know you mentioned one thing the other day that was really good about decorating flats. You mentioned like making a tree out of tape,
Mm.
and so out of that, what do you call it? The tape that they, I can't remember.
Yeah, I think it's a washi tape tree. I've not done it myself yet, but you're meant to have a triangular shape on your wall. So if you don't have a tree, I don't have a tree, just I don't know what I did with it. I think I moved and then I don't know, just disappeared. So you
Mm.
get probably need to get another tree. But instead of having a tree and needing to store it and then not knowing where to keep it. There's this idea I found on, I think, Pinterest or something, and it was just using cards, so Christmas cards or decorations, and then just making like a triangle on your wall,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
then keeping it, and then having tinsel in between to look like a tree, but shaped as a tree-shaped triangle, and then decorating it like that. Obviously, if you're renting or in your student accommodation, don't mark the walls. So I'm going to get some white tack or something,
yeah,
and be a bit more strategic in where I place it. And yeah, it's quite nice because it saves you having to get a tree, and you can
yeah.
make one, and it's a bit more personalized as well because you can decide, you can put photos on it as well,
Oh, that's a good
memories,
idea.
and put it all together. Mm.
I have a friend with a toddler who's done a similar thing so that the toddler doesn't touch the actual tree, that's done a paper tree that's specifically
Mm.
Harriet's tree. So she gets to put up all the little paper decorations that she likes, and they've got Velcro on the back. And it's a really good way of sort of having a tree without toddler
Mm.
destruction
Yes.
that she likes. Um, but yeah,
Mm.
it's a nice way of having multiple trees in the same house without having to buy actual multiple trees and light them
Yeah.
and that kind of stuff.
Mm. And I guess sort of other householdy things you could do, festive baking, cooking. Um, Megan, I think you've got some friends who are really into cooking potlucks and
Oh
things.
yeah.
Mm.
When it was Thanksgiving a couple of weeks ago, my housemate and some friends were kind of doing a door drop. So we live in different places around Canterbury. People were sort of walking to each other's houses and leaving like a whole turkey leg in a tray on people's doorsteps, which was incredible. And just dropping around different kinds of food. Normally, they're the kind of festive meals that you'd share, but obviously now we're
Mm.
still in tier three. That's not necessarily going to be something we can do throughout the whole festive period. I
Mm.
know that you can bubble up over Christmas, but again, keep an eye on government advice and see what that says about Christmas if you are staying in Canterbury and not going home. Um, but if you can't get together with all your friends, maybe something like that, just sort of walking around Canterbury with Tupperwares full of food and leaving them on doorsteps. It's a nice way of sharing your festive food if you make something particularly good. My housemate is making a really great Brussels sprout salad that, I don't know about you, I'm not a grown up in that I don't really like Brussels sprouts. Every year I have like the token one to say that I'm having it.
Mm.
Don't like it anytime. And I actually ate multiple Brussels sprouts when I had this salad at Thanksgiving. So being able to share those kind of dishes that are your particular dishes is a really nice way of sharing your Christmas experience, even if you can't necessarily be in the same room
Mm.
together. Yeah.
Obviously, pre-assigned who makes which dish, so
Oh
you're not
yeah.
just dropping off random food.
Yeah. Otherwise, you're going to end up with like 8 turkeys, and that's
Yeah.
not going to be a good thing.
So a little bit of planning, but quite nice because then you can still have the cooking experience at home and then not need to, I guess, cook everything, but
Yeah.
have a bit of everything after you've cooked the one thing.
Yeah, and
And
if you're
yeah.
anything like me, and I'm slightly, I don't want to say culinarily challenged, but I'm not the best chef. I'm very good at side dishes. So like honey glaze something. I prepped something that was in a tray that you could just throw in the oven. So the oven does all the hard work. That's the kind of side dish that I'm really good at making. So my friends did all the more labour intensive aspects, and I did the
Mm.
things that still tasted good, but
Something
were
for
at my
everyone.
expertise level.
Cool. So I guess other just thinking of other events that are on Kent specific right now. There is a web hangout if any of you guys have tuned into those previously, just to virtually get together with other students. And the next one I think is happening, excuse me, on the 7th of December. And details of that are on the events section on the student guide. And that will be a Christmas themed one. And as this today here is also Christmas themed, Megan, you've got your penguin earrings. I've got a,
Yep.
can't really see it because of it, but Christmas jumper with a robin on
Oh,
it.
that's lovely.
So feeling festive today, kind of.
Yeah.
um, and yeah, the hangout's quite good because again, you can connect with people, and if you can't necessarily coordinate your own Zoom catch up, and you just want to drop in, people are going to be tuning into that. So something for you to pop into if you fancy it, and you hadn't decided yet, and you can just log in and join.
Yeah.
That's a really good idea to get together with people, feel Christmassy.
Yeah.
Um, other
It's,
things as well. I mentioned the sorry, Megan, you were going to say
oh no, I was
something.
just going to say it's also worth keeping an eye on the KGSA pages and the Kent Union pages, because I know they're trying to organise some things that
Yeah.
are distanced over the Christmas
Mm.
period. So it's definitely worth keeping up if you are on campus or if you can't go home and are in sort
Mm.
of Canterbury. It's worth keeping an eye out because I know they're doing some events over the festive season. So, yeah.
Mm. Definitely lots going on, so keep an eye out. And yeah. And I guess events, speaking about events, things happening in town, it's a little bit unclear at the moment what is going ahead still, but definitely the Christmas market, because I checked that yesterday. Megan, I think you've got some information about the cathedral.
Yeah, the Cathedral sent out an email this morning saying that they are intending on doing some services over the festive
Mm.
period. Obviously, this is dependent on the guidelines as they are staying the same. It's
Mm.
worth keeping an eye on the Cathedral website.
Mm.
They have some services going on Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, and on the
Mm.
29th, which is Becket 2020. So it's the 850th anniversary of Thomas Becket being killed in the cathedral. So there are services going on. Obviously, everything will also still be being streamed online if you don't feel comfortable
Mm.
going into the cathedral itself, which is completely understandable. Which is quite nice, so I can get my family to see the cathedral service as well,
Mm.
which will be good. But if you want to have a look at that, have a look online. It will all be on their website. They're updating it almost daily just to keep in line with the current government guidelines. So yeah, keep an eye on that.
Mm. Awesome. And I guess if anyone has any questions, feel free to drop them below. There haven't been any yet, but if you do, would you like to ask something, um, anything related to festive, um, feeling festive at Kent, do let us know.
Yeah, we'll answer them as
Um,
best we can.
yes, as best as we can.
Yeah.
I guess another thing as well, I forgot to probably touch on is you mentioned the movies, Megan,
Yeah.
and Christmas movies. There's also, I think you can, I guess it's a little bit different because movie might not be everyone, but you can collate some TV episodes which are Christmas themed and just have a big Christmassy TV show splurge
Yeah.
over the weekend or hopefully not one sitting because that would be a lot of TV shows. But
Yeah.
gather like your favorite TV shows if you're in your bubble, or um, maybe even on Netflix if you host it. Not too
Yeah.
sure
I
how
know,
that
like,
would work.
the Thanksgiving, we did a similar thing in our house where we just
Mm.
watched all the Thanksgiving Brooklyn Nine-Nines. So I know
Nice.
there were a load of Christmas Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Mm.
Maybe watch all of those in a row or something like that. Or
Mm.
especially on things like 4OD have a lot of box sets of
Mm.
shows. Obviously, things like Netflix. I don't know if you're anything like me, but I am obsessed with all of the new Netflix Christmas films that are coming out. Um, Especially the night before Christmas. I love because I'm from near Norwich and the historical inaccuracy of that character that claims they're from Norwich makes me die every time I watch it. Um, but yeah, watching something like that, whether it's on your own or with some other people,
Mm.
I want to make it my challenge to find the worst Christmas movie ever because I love terrible films. So that might be my challenge this Christmas, is to corrupt all of my friends who have actual good movie taste with the worst films I can find,
Right.
that are all festive based. Or if you've got some like films that you watch every year. I know in
Mm.
my house at home, every Christmas Eve on my dad's command, we have to watch the best Christmas Carol adaptation, which is the Muppets Christmas Carol. Um, I would argue it's the most accurate to the book. We love it. We can basically recite it word for word. But every Christmas Eve, we sort of eat our dinner while we watch the Muppets Christmas Carol ever since I was about 5 or 6. So maybe bring some of your kind of family traditions into
Mm.
your house if you're still at uni. So if your family is like mine and does that, watch the Muppets Christmas Carol on Christmas Eve.
Mm. Good
Bring in
idea.
those traditions from home.
Yes, definitely. Especially if you can't go home for the break. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's quite difficult now. Um, cool. So there's some really really good ideas. Has anyone else got any of their ideas, any of their thoughts? Don't forget you can just comment, and then we can just shout them out and talk about them as well. If not, Megan, have you got any other? I think that's my list of things. Have you got anything else to
I'm trying to think.
mention?
I know online there are a lot of having just said that the Muppets Christmas Carol is the best Christmas Carol, I know online there are some other plays and shows that are being performed. There is the Old Vic Theatre is doing its version of Christmas
Mm.
Carol with Andrew Lincoln from The Walking Dead, who's playing Ebenezer Scrooge, I think. So there are shows online. Some theatres, I think one of my local ones in Norfolk is doing an online pantomime. Excellent part of Christmas. Normally I will go with my cousins to some kind of pantomime, so if you can find one of those online, if not there must be some on YouTube, just to get into the spirit of that kind of campish kitsch
Mm.
festive, that kind of thing always gets you in the mood for Christmas, I find. I'm trying to think what else I do. But yeah, also I'm going to bring them back from the first lockdown, a Zoom quiz. You can't beat a festive Zoom quiz.
Mm.
I hosted a Christmas themed Zoom quiz in April because it was at the point where we'd done a lot of Zoom quizzes and I wanted a
Mm.
theme. So I themed it Christmas based. And a lot of my family are now sort of asking me, can you just send me the quiz so we can like recycle it with our other groups of friends? My cousin has also told me that she explained the story to some of her uni friends and now they
Mm.
want me to create an April themed quiz for their Christmas quiz to sort of
Awesome.
reverse the roles. But I'm not gonna lie, there's not a lot of April themed questions that I can think of off the top of my head. But yeah, that kind of stuff, just do what makes you happy, whether it's buying
Mm.
yourself a whole Christmas pudding, whether it's trying to make something you haven't made before. I know we've got one of those crock pots in our house, whether it's spending a long time making something really luxurious that you wouldn't normally make for yourself as like a treat for yourself for this time of year. That sounds like a great
Mm.
idea to me. Um, I'm going to be experimenting. The first lockdown taught me how to make really great sausage rolls. And now I'm starting to feel a bit festive. So now I'm like, I'm going to put stuffing in them or caramelized onion or, do you know what I mean? Just sort of jazzing
Mm.
things up that I've learned to make, just not just because I'm greedy, but also partly because it's something that I want to do to treat myself, treat my housemate, and
Mm.
hopefully treat my family. There are still, if you are going home, there are still COVID tests available on campus for
Mm.
asymptomatic people. So have a look on the university's website for information about that. I've had one, I have another one coming up. They're completely fine. Um, and also there are things that you can do, like volunteering. If you
Mm.
want to help out, there are a lot of charities in Canterbury that will be looking for volunteers this year.
Mm.
If you want to donate your time, I'm sure they'll be very appreciative.
Definitely.
Um, I don't think I can think of anything else. I think I'm all
No, I think
Christmased out already.
yeah, well, no, it's only the third. So we haven't got any questions in, and we are running a little low on time. So we might end it there. But if you do have any questions, feel free to message them into the university social media channels, or you can comment them below this video when I post it, when I share it to IG Live. And yeah, hopefully see you guys in the new year. And Megan, thank you so much for joining us again
That's
today.
fine.
Um, and thanks for tuning in, and Merry Christmas, everyone.
Yeah, have a lovely Christmas, everyone. Have a lovely break.
Yes, definitely. Take care, Megan. Thanks everyone for watching.
Bye,
Bye.
everyone.